Donald Trump, he's hitting the campaign trail ahead of Wednesday's important Republican debate. Trump holding a big rally tonight in Big D, Dallas, Texas. Up to 20,000 people expected to pack the American Airlines Center. Voters are going to be certainly watching for more controversial comments like this one that he made over the weekend on CEO pay.
They put in their friends as the head of the company, and they get whatever they want, because the friends love sitting on the board. So that's a system that we have, and it's a shame, and it's disgraceful, and sometimes the boards rule, but I would say it's probably less than 10%. And you see these guys making these enormous amounts of money. It's a total and complete joke.
Here with me now in a Fox Business exclusive is Stephen Cobb, former counsel to the Democratic Party of Virginia and current Democratic strategist, and also Michael Goodwin, New York Post columnist and a Fox News contributor. And gentlemen, welcome to both of you. Stephen, I mean, you're the political strategist here. Is Donald Trump doing everything right, or is he doing everything wrong and people are sick of politicians?
Well, I guess only time will tell. Let's not forget that these sort of unconventional candidacies aren't anything new to American politics. Just 4 years ago, we saw Michelle Bachmann and Herman Cain leading in the polls, but leading time eventually had its curtain call, and they were overcome in the primaries and in the caucuses going forward. So it's tough to run at the top of the pack for so long, but all Trump's numbers continue to move in the same direction. I know he's got to be happy with that.
Of course he is, Michael. And here's the thing. He's going to be in Dallas, Texas tonight. He is in Ted Cruz country. And, you would expect that Texas would go to Senator Cruz in the primary, at least the delegates anyway. But Texas voters are saying that they really are relating to him because he's a straight shooter. Right. And in Texas, we kind of like that. Just give it to me straight. Don't mess around.
Well,
right?
Think of it, too, Charlotte. They're scalping tickets for this event, presumably. And the only other person whose tickets are being scalped these days is the Pope. So the Pope and Donald Trump are drawing crowds where you can sell free tickets. This is an amazing spectacle that we're witnessing.
You'd have to wonder, though, Stephen, if what he is doing now is resonating with Republican voters who say, I don't want to pull the party line anymore. I don't agree. I don't think the GOP knows who America is. Do you think that that's a fair assessment of what's happening on the Republican side right now?
Well, we shouldn't really be surprised that people are willing to scalp tickets and, stand in line to see Donald Trump. He's an entertainer, and that's what his campaign has been. It's been a lot of entertainment. It's been a lot of sound bites over substance. And so I don't think we should be surprised about that. And yes, at the beginning of a campaign, 5 months out from any primary or caucus, I think that has a lot of appeal for folks. But time will tell whether or not that these big lines in big arenas really turn into voter turnout. It sounds to me, days.
You know what? It sounds to me, Stephen, like you're saying that when push comes to shove, he starts to actually reveal policies that he's going to get a little bit beaten up. But Michael, here's the thing: he has to. When he was on Face the Nation yesterday, he talked about kind of a populist tone. He almost sounded like a Democrat for a second. Go after the rich hedge fund guys. CEOs are overpaid. He even called out Terry Lundgren at Macy's. That's I think a personal vendetta, but that's another story. But here's the thing, when he does finally come out with his tax plan, of all people, Donald Trump might have a pretty good tax plan to offer the American people.
Look, I mean, so far, almost everything in this campaign has played to his strengths. I mean, the TV aspect of it, right, that he's very good and very comfortable in front of the camera. The business part of it, that he's going to negotiate better deals with Iran. The sense that the economy is not good. The trade issues. So the sense that ordinary Americans feel left out from what happens in Washington is a button that he's pushing over and over, and it's working. And look, we have to say at this point, it is legitimate. I mean, it's one thing to be doing this, I think, for a week or a month early on. This is now entering a serious part of the campaign. There have been no votes cast yet, but the polls are still improving for him.
Improving for him, but Stephen, not is the case for Hillary Clinton. And in particular, some are shocked by this. Bernie Sanders is gaining on her in New Hampshire and Iowa, overtaking her. In fact, look, I want you to show you this latest Washington Post ABC poll. I referenced this just a moment ago. She's at 42%. Sanders at 24%. Joe Biden, who hasn't even, said he's going to run, at 21%. This could really be a game changer for her in the primaries. Should she be worried? And if you were advising her, what would you tell her to do to handle the email controversy?
Well, I think the Clinton campaign has been clear from the beginning that they anticipated a hard-fought primary, and that's the way that they were gaming out their campaign going forward. So I don't think this is too much of a surprise for them. They're focused on staying on message. And my advice to them would be to continue to do that, to stay on message, talk about what your vision is going to be for their presidency.
But that is not working. This email controversy, whether you agree with it or not, is hurting her. I mean, if you look at this, more than 50% of Democrats say that they're not so sure that she's telling the truth. 54% saying there's a cover-up going on. That is, they don't trust her. That's her own constituents.
If nothing else, it's certainly been a distraction that takes away from her message and allows her the ability to talk about her vision for her presidency. So finding opportunities to do that will be key for her going forward. And yes, addressing the email issue will be of importance to many voters, and I imagine that the campaign is going to be focused on that, but in the larger concept of expressing what her vision is going to be for her presidency.
Well, she needs to do that, Michael. 5 seconds on Hillary, then I want to talk to you about Scott.
Yeah, look, I think it's simply not accurate to say that they expected this. I mean, she was anointed. There was not going to be a serious opposition. She's now behind by double digits in the first 2 states to vote. That was not expected.
Okay, let's talk about really quick Scott Walker, Mike, and I want to bring this to you because, he basically wants to eliminate all labor unions, federal, state, corporate, everywhere. Labor unions, goodbye.
Right.
Does he have a chance of having that message resonate based on his Wisconsin record or no?
No, not at all. I mean, I think that's not even the record in Wisconsin to have unions go away. It's about curbing their power. Look, Scott Walker.
Which he did.
Yes, he did effectively, and I give him a lot of credit for that because this was municipal unions that were really bleeding the state dry. And frankly, we see it everywhere, particularly with teachers. I mean, they are a major impediment to reforming schools, the unions. But this is not a national issue in the way he's trying to frame it. So I think he's gotten desperate by trying to say now he's upping the ante. He's saying things nationally he didn't say in Wisconsin about making them disappear. It is amazing to me in many ways how small Scott Walker has looked on the national stage, given that he was a front runner.
Part of that we have to say that if people are campaigning on television and he may not be resonating through that camera. And that's a big deal. Gravitas, personality, things like that. Well, Michael, it was good to see you. Stephen, to you as well. Both of you should keep your cell phones ready. Wednesday's going to be a good night. Thank you, guys.